some high-quality artwork for people to print out and put on their walls, featuring his face photoshopped onto Exotic's body. The star invited viewers to join him for the event, which is part of the Jared Leto Cinema Club that he launched last week.
You're too good-looking, Jared, to play.
With Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
He could play one of the boyfriends, though.
Gina? What, the one with no teeth? The one with no teeth?
No, the other one.
The one with no teeth and his Joe Exotic's first husband?
He could play the second husband. Watch the show, Sue.
He married both of those people. He married both of them. I don't know but if you look a little closely at, try to look past the weirdness at Joe Exotic. He's a pretty handsome man.
No,
I've seen photos. I have to disagree.
And good news for all of you people who, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have returned to the United States after being quarantined in Australia. We're home now. Thank God. Thank God America has them back. And like the rest of America, we carry on sheltering in place and social distancing. Hanks tweeted on Saturday. The couple tested positive for a novel coronavirus earlier this month while in Australia, where Hanks had been doing some pre-production work on a film about Elvis Presley. Now, Tom Hanks isn't going to play Elvis Presley. He's going to play his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, in the film.
Ooh, okay.
Production on the project has been suspended. Many thanks to everyone in Australia who looked after us. Their care and guidance made possible our return to the U.S., and many thanks to all of you who reached out with well wishes. Rita and I so appreciate it, he wrote. I could do without stories like this on top of the coronavirus. And I'll just read you the headlines. It's all you need. Arkansas doctor quarantined from family for coronavirus sees family home destroyed by tornado.
Oh.
And then how about this one? 108-year-old Spanish flu survivor dies of coronavirus.
Oh, Jesus.
He survived the Spanish flu only to die from the next pandemic?
Do we need those kinds of stories?
I was feeling bad for us because of the earthquake, but then I saw footage, like on-the-ground footage of that tornado as it was like going down a street, and someone was filming it, and I just like, man, I thought we had it bad. But
well, I just wonder. Of course, I live on an earthquake fault, but so I shouldn't throw stones at people who live in so-called Tornado Alley. But to mask or not to mask, that is the question. Some scientists are now saying that you may want to put on a face mask after all if you have one. The advice is laid out in a new report in Science magazine. People in Asia. Yep, there Carrie's got his on.
Oh, Katie's got hers too.
Yeah, I've got one upstairs. I'm going to start wearing it when I go out. Their advice is laid out in a report in Science magazine. People in Asian countries have been wearing masks for months, which the head of the Chinese Center for Disease and Prevention supports. In the U.S., face masks are in short supply, and government officials want the rapidly dwindling supply saved for healthcare professionals. The virus is transmitted by droplets and close contact. Droplets play a very important role. You've got to wear a mask because when you speak, there are always droplets coming out of your mouth.
Some of you more than others.
Yes, that's true. Many people have asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic infections. If they are wearing face masks, it can prevent the droplets that carry the virus from escaping and infecting others. I think it was a report I heard from Hong Kong a week ago or so when most of the reports that we had here said, the masks are really not going to help you much, one way or the other. And but everyone in Hong Kong wearing a mask, everyone in China wearing a mask. And the reporter said, there was a reporter, he was wearing a mask as well. I think he pulled it down to do his report, but he said, if you don't have one on and you are out on the streets, people will just give you crap. It's considered rude to not have one. It's considered dangerous to not have one.
Now, if you see me at the store with an N5 respirator on, I did not take that from a medical care professional. and I've worn it in the studio before. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Somebody brought me one a couple years ago, as a joke because of our bad air.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had it in my desk since then, and it's that good kind of.
Well, the one I have is from Iconoclad, and it's for that exact reason.
Yeah. The Iconoclad one.
Yeah.
If you see me out, don't think I took one from a medical person because someone gave it to me a long, long time ago.
Well, and
but
if
I'm
you
going to wear
see-
it when I go to the store.
And if you see me out in this one, the one that I got, I did not steal this from a child. This is my Donald Duck one that I got from Tokyo Disneyland. So and I'll be wearing it out.
And I'm guessing it's not. Is it a good quality mask? Really?
It's okay. It's pretty thick.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I've got one.
They take their masks, their face masks, seriously over there.
I got one for Christmas, and it's got a little changeable filter in it, but I don't think it's.
Mine
I don't
has
think
that.
it's.
Mine
What?
from Iconoclad, they have those.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, with ridership down 65%, UTA is announcing wide service cuts. Bus and trains will come less frequently, although UTA says it's trying to maintain at least some base service along most routes. UTA is also canceling some commuter-only services where alternatives are available. A 15-minute bus route will come every 30 minutes now. A 30-minute bus route will come every 60 minutes, said Eric Callison, UTA manager of service planning at a special meeting of the UTA board. Light rail will move from 15-minute headways all day to 30 minutes, he said, and commuter rail will move from 30 minutes to 60 minutes on weekdays. Also, a lot of people depend on the Utah Valley Express bus rapid transit system in Provo and Orem. They will move from service every 6 minutes at peak times to every 15 minutes. And UTA also is canceling some fast bus service for commuters where alternative but slower local bus service is available. Are Utah hospitals ready in case we have a huge influx? Is that 2 minutes to carry? Is that what, or just this time
means you
to
got
break?
just a minute. Yeah.
Got a minute? Okay. So they've taken a look at the hospitals here in Salt Lake, and so far we're fine. The Utah Department of Health says when there was a flu pandemic in 2007, they anticipated an outbreak consuming state supplies of hospital beds and caches of ventilators and medical gowns, and so there is a stockpile of some of those things here in Utah.
All right.
All right.
Weather, traffic.
Yeah, it's raining a little bit this morning, and we'll continue a chance of it anyway throughout the day. 56 for a high, 61 tomorrow, and a little bit sunnier. Traffic, we've got wet roads all up and down the Wasatch Front, and snowy roads up in Summit County. But if you're up in Summit County, you ought not be moving around anyway, remember? Traffic lights not working correctly at the intersection of 35th and 41st Redwood Road. Crews are on the scene to try to get that fixed for you. Car off the road on the top of the ramp in Manaway to go westbound in Sardine Canyon. And we have an accident northbound I-15 4th North in West Bountiful. That's traffic.
All right.
Here's Boehner candidate number 3. Potluck at my house after work. While most New Yorkers are hunkering in place, others are popping corks and staging parties that defy occupancy and social distancing edicts. Lucian Wintrick, a former White House reporter and is one of them. The 31-year-old contrarian recently hosted a Corona potluck party at his small but chic East Village apartment. They can't diagnose us all, reads the invite that Wintrick sent to a select group for the March 14th gathering. Don't wash your hands. Bring your favorite dish. The tongue-in-cheek advertisement also included an image of a boy covered in chicken pox and a fork digging into a coronavirus spore.
Ew.
The majority of the folks I invited, they got it. It would recover fairly quickly and build up an immunity to the present form of the disease, he said unapologetically. It was relatively inspired by chickenpox parties that were all the rage in the 90s. Nope. Boehner candidate number 3. Potluck at my house after work.
Okay. before we get to the voting and all that, if you go to x96.com/live, you can see this camera setup that we have going here. I think it's a four different camera shot thing where we're all there, so you can see us and our houses and all that. x96.com/live. Also coming up, Aaron Mendenhall in the next break. But right now, let's review the first two candidates and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1. Wow, no more soap and water. On Amazon, somebody found this and sent me the pictures of it. It's a copper disc that says it will sanitize your hands wherever you go with no soap and water. Boehner candidate number 2, we're champions for Christ. Liberty University, run by Jerry Falwell Jr., brings back its students and coronavirus fears too, and now several students have fallen ill with the virus. And Boehner candidate number 3, potluck at my house after work.
Okay, time now to call and vote for round 1 of your boners. Here we go. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. And put that number, that single digit, in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth, 877-602-9696, and they will count your vote via voice. Or go online, x96.com, look for the box that says Boehner voting March 30, 2020, and vote there. Now, if it wins here, it's just the winner of round 1. It's not Boehner of the day yet. We'll have round 2 coming up at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We'll get a winner there. Then we'll take those 2 winners and put them against each other. You'll decide Boehner of the day at 9:20 this morning with Boehner Fight. Right now, you got to choose your champion for round 1. Here we go. X96. Al. Spell it with me now. A-L. Al. And now we'll use it in some dialogue with our friends LeVar and LeGrand. Today, the boys are out in the woods hunting with their California friend, Chip. A conversation ensues.
Hey, nice of you guys to bring me on the deer hunt. I've never had a chance to do this.
Never been hunting before, huh, Chip? Well, why am I not surprised? You'll notice that the rest of us, Chip, are wearing a highly visible flame orange attire. Now, while very colorful and attractive, your Hawaiian shirt ain't what I'd call appropriate.
It's kind of like hunting with Magnum P.I. You ever been in the great outdoors at all, Mr. Selleck?
I've been to the Grunion Run in Long Beach.
Well, we're not talking about sissy boys in their running shorts here, Chip. We're talking about hunting, fishing, manly sports.
Yeah, manly sports. Hunting, fishing.
I free climbed Half Dome at Yosemite last summer.
Oh, fine. You climbed up some rocks at some Bugs Bunny theme park or something. You ever bagged a 4-point? You ever bagged it and tagged it and gutted it in a blinding snowstorm?
With a real bad earache and a wooden leg?
You don't have a wooden leg.
Well, with a bad earache and while you're half drunk.
LeVar, have you been drinking? I've told you I do not approve of drinking, and certainly not drinking while we're on the hunt.
Of course, you know why he's upset, don't you, Chip? It's the old story, why you should always take more than one of the elders like LeGrand here hunting with you. Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer.
Real funny, LeVar.
I don't get it.
Well, Chip, you see...
What's that?
What?
That?
Oh, Al.
That can't be Al. Al's back at camp.
Sure, it ain't the camp owl. I'll bet it's a different owl.
What? How could there be another owl? Especially way out here in the woods.
Well, the camp owl was probably a born owl. Oh, now, this one sounds like a horned owl.
And now I know that joke about all you Utahns have horns. Al has horns.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. These fetching Californians seem to have their own language, you know? Okay. Well, it's it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
The next few days. Take that music down. learning curve the next few days. While we figure this out, we're all broadcasting from our home studios, and Katie's running the board in the main studio at X96. So we'll get these things figured out, and we'll get the boing sounds back and all of that. It'll take a few days, but we'll get there. Time to award, huh?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just after we award the Boehner, we're going to talk to Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall, I believe.
So,
right?
we'll do that as soon as we award round 1 of your Boehners.
And it's brought to you in part by Spaghetti.
And by the box of Pop-Tarts that I've managed to keep hidden from the kids.
Well, I bet they're nice and fresh.
They haven't found it yet.
Secret
Of course, I guess there's no such thing as a fresh Pop-Tart, is there? Really? All right, so we had Boehner candidate number 1. Wow, no more soap and water. These copper discs that were being sold, or maybe still being sold on Amazon, that say that they can sanitize your hands. Boehner candidate number 2, we are champions for Christ. Liberty University, run by Jerry Falwell Jr., bringing back its students, and now many of them have coronavirus. And Boehner candidate number 3, potluck at my house after work. Yes, some New Yorkers are throwing corona potluck parties, and also they're visiting speakeasies in New York. Let's see. The winner was Boehner candidate number 2. We are champions for Christ.
Boing. So there's your winner of round 1. It is now qualified to be Boehner of the day. Round 2 comes up at 8:20 with 3 different candidates. We'll get a winner there. We'll take both of those winners and put them against each other for Boehner fights coming up at 9:20 this morning. That's when you will officially decide Boehner of the day.
And now?
I don't know if we have her. We don't have her on yet.
We don't?
She hasn't called yet. All right.
Erin Mendenhall, the mayor of Salt Lake, she's supposed to call us, or we're supposed to call her?
She's supposed.
She's calling us.
She's
I
calling
saw
us.
this morning that part of the new declarations for Salt Lake City specifically, and we addressed this on Friday, was the parking ticket situation.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the new order that Mayor Mendenhall has put out is no time limits on parking downtown. They're discontinuing parking tickets, and if you've received a parking ticket in the last week or two, it just you can
You know why she did that, because she heard us talking about it, and we were critical of it.
I'm
It was a
sure
Boehner
that's what it
candidate.
was.
But it was John Saltis, though. That
Well, he
really
started the ball rolling, but we have a bigger megaphone than John does. So
That's true.
So that was another positive thing that happened over the weekend.
yes, wasn't it? And
What?
I
all
didn't.
These, all these small measures that
I'm
are.
getting tired of all
it's-
this positive stuff happening.
Haven't you had enough doom and gloom?
I just it's hard. It's very hard to, dispel it. I feel better when I'm doing this, but it's just, I don't know. I'll get over it. Somehow.
We'll all get over it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird year, and that sounds like a long time, but it will be, because it'll wax and wane. It'll be acute, and then we'll have this period in the summer where things are some things will open. You'll go out to dinner again. You'll start doing some things again, and then maybe in the fall it'll come back, and then over the winter into the spring we should have the vaccine by then. And if you look at the Spanish flu thing, and we have way more resources than they did back then.
I'm glad.
It's a weird year.
I'm glad people can see you making the gestures of the ebbs and the flow. We
This
got
is-
the and then the
They can if they're looking at x96.com/live.
Yes.
We're all in our homes. So earlier I had the lamp on behind me, and I've turned it off. Do you like the lamp on or off? You weren't even paying attention, were you? Here, let me show you.
I have not
didn't
noticed a
notice.
difference at all, Gina.
Let me show you.
All right, get up, turn the lamp on. Because sometimes that can be a bit. Well, it's actually kind of homey.
It's
I
one
like
of my
that.
last pink incandescent light bulbs I have in that lamp.
I think it makes it look more homey.
Okay.
Using the incandescent light bulb, Gina, you're part of the problem.
That's a different problem. We're ignoring that problem right now.
Well, you've been ignoring it all along with your damned incandescent bulbs.
Oh, we do have the mayor. Okay.
Mayor
It's-
Mendenhall.
Yes, are you there?
Hello. Good
Hi.
morning.
So, how about just first of all, give us a little thumbnail sketch of the state of Salt Lake City right now.
Well, I now conduct city business as homey as this is, with a cat on my lap from my basement, as I think a lot of residents of our city and our state are doing. So Salt Lake City is in as good a shape as we can be, I think. Fortunately, we haven't had any more ground movements and aftershocks in a few days. Hopefully that part's passed. Our city hall is still not open. We had some plaster damage, but fortunately, structurally, she's in good shape. And we'll be coming back into city hall in the next couple of weeks. But with COVID-19, it's just evolving on a day-to-day basis. As you saw, I worked with the state and county on Friday, put in a new proclamation with put some teeth into what the governor did more softly. And then just last night, the county's new proclamation went into effect from the health department. So I rescinded my Friday action, picked up the county's action, which is more clear and more stringent, and we're grateful for that.
Let me ask you about that, Mayor Mendenhall. Some people, when you made that declaration, and I'm sure they felt the same way after Jenny Wilson did it with the county, they're worried, they're scared. Well, we can't go out. We're going to get arrested. We're going to, we can't do anything. We have to stay in our homes. What are we going to do? People get paranoid when those kind of proclamations are made.
Right. And I think that's actually a very incorrect narrative about it. You can basically do almost everything you were doing a week ago. Grocery stores are open. Most stores are open. A store that sells technology so you can work from home is open. The post office is open. You can go for walks. You can go to the park. You can hike in our trails. You can take your dog out. You just can't do it within 6 feet of other people who don't live in your household. So team sports are shut down now. Our playgrounds are shut down. I've got a little daughter, and I know how dirty those playgrounds are. Anyone who has kids, I think it was a good choice, really. So just the high-touch areas and then opportunities to congregate like league and team sports are on hold at this point.
Are there any
You just
plans?
need to be mindful. You need to be thoughtful about what you're doing. Go to the store once a week if you can, rather than, just...
Right.
Are there any plans, Mayor Mendenhall, for mass testing in Salt Lake?
We would love to get to that definition, and I think mass testing in and of itself is a bit relative depending on who you're talking to. But we need to be able to get to a place where people can be screened easily without having to have necessary pre-qualifications, and we're a ways from being able to do that at this point. We want to be able to visit our friends and relatives who are in care facilities and nursing homes. And those are just such high-risk areas that we almost can't go ahead without having that kind of testing online. So, yes, we need more mass testing. We need it to be able to function and safely and normally the way we hope to very soon.
What's the holdup? Do you know what the holdup is? Why we can't get those tests?
Well, I hear the lieutenant governor talk about it as though these Utah companies gratefully now have created sort of the printer, so to speak, and that ink cartridge, which is the chemical agent that we need in order to basically process the tests, is the limited supply at a limited supply worldwide. So we've got the printers, we don't have the ink cartridges, and I know that the state has received a good line of that, and that's how we've been able to increase some of the testing. But that my understanding is that we've got the printers. We need more of that worldwide supply to get here.
Salt Lake Mayor Aaron Mendenhall, of course, small businesses in Salt Lake City are, really in a struggle. Are struggling. Restaurants and other little businesses, smaller businesses. What can they do? Is there something that they can apply to Salt Lake for some sort of relief?
Yes. In two ways. At the business end of the spectrum, we have our small business loan program, which our council approved the first $1 million to just about 2 weeks ago. We've since allocated the first $500,000 to a couple dozen businesses. It's a loan that goes up to $20,000. It's a 5-year term, 0% interest, really flexible, and it's intended to be a stopgap between that day of receiving the check from Salt Lake City and when these SBA funds kick in. We're right now working through April 2nd on the second batch of $500,000 loans. So if you have a small business, which we define as 50 employees or fewer, in Salt Lake City proper, please go to the Salt Lake City Economic Development website and you can apply for this funding today. Then there is the SBA money that will be coming through from the federal government. We don't know exactly how much. Certainly it won't be as much as all of the demand, but our economic development team will help any business owner in the city navigate all of those applications. So that website is a really helpful tool. And then we've been working with Ty Burrell of Modern Family, who's also a local restaurant and bar owner, as you know, in Salt Lake City. He and his wife contributed $100,000 to start this Tip Your Server program with us, which is for the employees of food and beverage. Their employer has to apply. That's the way that we verify employment and ensure the distribution. But that's for the people, I think, who are probably laid off first and maybe the last to come back to work when this whole thing starts to fly by us.
So with the more stringent regulations put in place by the county, can people still, I know all restaurants have to be closed, but can people still get food from restaurants through takeout?
Yes, the new orders don't change anything about the way restaurants operate. So you can still do your order or your dine and dash. That's all still allowed under the order.
Oh, and I had a question from a listener who wanted to know, are self-employed people, gig workers, individual contractor people, really, they're a business of one. Are they eligible for any kind of relief?
Through Salt Lake City, if they hold a Salt Lake City business license, yes, they are. But they need to hold that business license in the city.
Okay. Are you
How
well?
are you guys holding up?
Well,
yeah,
good.
you normally hole up in a nice, comfy, padded studio there.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in our homes. We're all in our homes
you're-
today, and we've got our producer back at the studio, kind of running things. And
So you
this
have
is
cats and dogs laying in your laps.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that my dogs have not barked yet. I'll be honest.
Oh, wait,
with you.
I need to let Riley in the room.
My cat is looking at me, just sitting here looking at me like, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here at this time. You're never here at this time. And so it's
My cat is feeling very spoiled, and it's going to be very difficult when I have to go back to work.
Well, that's what I think.
real
I
building.
honestly think that's going to happen. That your dogs they love having you home. I mean, there was that news story about the dog that was so happy that its owner was home that he wagged his tail so much that he broke his tail or something. I don't know if that's true or not. But I imagine that when we go back to our regular routines, our dogs are not going to be happy.
The rate of pet depression is going to steeply increase as we all
There's
recover
Riley.
from COVID.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see Riley the Wonder Dog in Gina's house.
I let her on the carpet. This is a special day.
It must
you
be
let
a
her on the carpet. You watch.
pandemic.
She'll lose her bowels immediately because
No, it's not the bowels, it's the hair everywhere.
Well, Mayor Mendenhall, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about all this stuff. It's a strange time.
Thanks for having me. I'm always happy to come on. And the later in the day, I think the sharper I am. I'm sorry that I wasn't very concise.
you're
you're good.
fine.
I haven't finished my first cup of coffee.
Yeah, maybe I think we should maybe have you back next week as well.
All right.
That sounds great.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Talk to you
Thank you.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And people are requesting that we get Jenny Wilson on sometime this week.
Yeah, we've been
talk
trying
about,
to get a hold of her.
talk about the rest of the county, not just Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange times. Traffic, Gina, do you have some?
That's one of the positives, if you're sick of me bringing up positives, but traffic's been fairly light, which means we've had fairly few accidents. The roads are wet, and that's causing some slowage and some issues for people, but nothing serious this morning. We've had a couple, actually, intersections having issues with their lights being out. We have one on, 35th and 41st South and Redwood Road. But no other accidents to tell you about. We have ability to see your texts even though we're at home. You can send those to us anytime about anything at 33986.
Okay, we will take a break. We will be back with Bill Frost. He has tweeted saying that he is going to be there. I guess he'll be calling in to tell us what's on TV this week, and Lord knows we need that, right? So we'll have that for you after these messages. HasterGames.com is the website. Now, it's important you know the name of that website because they're doing curbside now. They've been working toward this. They're at 6831 South State with all the social distancing, self-quarantines, and telecommuting. This is a good opportunity to spend quality time playing board games at home. And so if you're spending more time at home, Haster has hundreds of great family games available. The next Magic set is Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths, which comes out April 24th. Wizards of the Coast are letting people run pre-releases at home. So they will have pre-release kits available, as well as early sell booster boxes and command decks on April 17th. And due to COVID, Haster Games will not be holding any in-store tournaments in the short term until further notice. They are offering curbside services, so if you'd like to order a game, go to their website, select and pay, and then call when you get to the store, and someone will bring it out to you. Curbside service. Haster Games is locally owned and operated. They are located at 6831 South State. They are open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, noon to 5 on Sunday. Haster Games, X96.
I didn't do anything this week. I was such a slug this weekend.
Sometimes you need a sluggy weekend.
Good for you.
I didn't think.
Good for you.
How do you turn that off?
Alcohol.
Genius switch. How do you turn that off?
Alcohol. Alcohol.
What kind? What was your alcohol
Just,
of choice this weekend?
Anything I could get. Whatever was handed to me, whatever was handy. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter?
No, didn't matter.
You weren't
I'll take
discriminating
nope.
about no?
Oh, why?
I'll take some of that, sure.
Is it good wine? It's good enough.
Yeah. I'll have some of that. You bet.
And you were just handed things?
Went out to dinner.
That's the way it should be.
Went out to dinner on Valentine's Day.
You did? You did that going out on Valentine's?
Yeah.
That's brave.
Yep. Had a nice dinner at Copper Onion, and you know, pork belly should be one of the major food groups.
I agree.
It really should be.
What was the pork belly on, or was it?
No, it was just pork belly.
Just out there being pork belly.
Pork belly with some cherries and some Brussels sprouts and turnips. You know, just kind of as a little
side
starter,
dish,
a little starter to the evening, and then
Nice.
Man.
Did you take in your surroundings? Did you look at the other people that chose to go out on Valentine's Day?
I
See
did.
How in love they are.
I
or
did.
Not?
There was. It was. Well, so it was very busy. Copper Onion was very busy. I assume all the restaurants were very busy on Saturday. Did you go out on Saturday?
No.
No. So the restaurant was very busy. To the table to our left, two guys out on a Valentine's date.
Guys.
And then a table across from us, a guy and two girls. And they kept they were quite annoying. Because the guy kept hanging a spoon on his nose. You know how you do? You take a
when
spoon
you're
and
a little kid.
yeah, and you hang it off the edge of your nose, or he would put it across his nose, and then he would insist on one of the girls taking a picture of him. And this kept going on, and then the spoon would slip off, and then he would just laugh uproariously.
Were these 12-year-olds?
And they thought it was funny too.
No one's ever done this before.
And it kind of went on, seemed to go on and on and on and on. And then they had the waiter take a picture of the three of them together.
Can you believe this?
It was just.
This has never happened.
And I kept trying to think, now, what kind of a Valentine's date is this?
Threesome date?
I guess he was
polygamy date?
Maybe he was paying for them.
That could be.
Could have been
that would explain why they were laughing at the spoon
Yeah,
joke.
the
they
spoon
were
on
paid.
the nose.
They were
hilarious.
paid.
Hilarious. Spoon on the nose.
Yep.
Man, this is good. Good stuff. Good stuff. And those were the only. But mostly I was just fixated on my sweetheart sitting across the table from me as we enjoyed a delicious meal.
I'm glad you did.
Perhaps you
That's
didn't
Wolverine,
hear.
Bill.
Perhaps you didn't hear.
Yes.
This program is intended for mature audiences.
Yes. Do you know how old Wolverine is?
I don't.
He's very old.
I'd be happy to, with my superhero powers, I'm Denverine. I have the power. I have the power to go to Denver whenever I want.
It's 8:03 right now, and we're broadcasting live from our homes, our home studios, and Katie is in the main studio in Salt Lake running things.
Carrie was, for those of you who couldn't see, wearing a Wolverine mask. Is it?
Yeah.
I guess it's a mask, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
If you go to x96.com/live, even though we are all in our various homes, Katie and the engineers and interns have all figured out how to continue to show x96.com/live, so we're all there.
And we were going to talk to Bill Frost about the TV, but apparently he hasn't called. Is that right, Katie?
He tweeted that he is going to. He probably just didn't know it was time to call in yet.
It's time.
Hey, Bill, call us, will you? You want to talk about TV? If you don't
Now-
want to talk about TV, fine.
A couple people have requested a pet segment.
I'm not
Pets.
picking up my cats.
What do you mean you're not picking up your cats?
I don't, because then they'll just start demanding attention.
What do they mean pet segment? What
They want to see Ripley and Hudson and Klaus and Mr. Fluffy Pants, and they want
Well,
to see we're
Ripley and
home.
Hudson are upstairs asleep in bed right now, as far as I know. So they're curled up on mommy's lap.
Well, since we're going to be doing this for what? See, I've got Riley here on mommy's lap.
She doesn't know what to make of being able to be
No.
on the carpet. By
No,
the way,
and
you have
and
a
she
guest
hasn't-
room. Is
yeah,
where
she
you are.
She hasn't seen me in headphones before, so I think she's a little worried about that.
No, it's the carpet that she's worried about. So you're in your guest room.
Yes,
Do you ever have a guest in there?
occasionally. This is also a room oh, you guys are going to love this. This is the quarantine room. This
Yeah.
is
Quarantine room.
This
Yeah.
is how prepared I am. This is the room I have set up if one of my family members
Yeah.
needs to quarantine in here, and I have it all ready to go. Behind me, in the nightstand there, there's medicine, there's lotion, there's a book, there's
Let's.
a
If there's not
thermometer.
whiskey, then you're doing it wrong.
Is Bill Frost there?
Bill is on the phone. Yes,
Oh,
Bill
okay.
Frost.
Yeah,
is
we'll
here.
talk. Let's talk about that later, Gina.
Let's
Because
get
I
to
got a
some
couple
Hello.
of questions. Hi, Bill.
TV with Bill Frost.
Hi.
Hi.
Bill Frost. Is there TV to talk about?
Yes, there is.
Okay, talk about it.
And I should also apologize to a nation about sleeping on Tiger King. One just kind of got by me there.
Yeah.
Have
You all
caught
found it
up?
on your own, though, so good for
Have
you. Oh
Have
yeah.
you've been watching it, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Did it all in one night,
It's hard to stop.
like most. Yes. And coming up this week, tonight, would you believe season 16 of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
They're
On
back.
the CW.
I thought they'd
16
gone
seasons.
away. I thought they'd gone
No.
away.
No, they've still
They've
been
never
doing it.
stopped.
They never stopped, and they've been touring actually, and they go on do live shows.
Is it that same? Is it Drew Carey and Ryan?
It's the group changes every now and then, but Proops is doing it.
Oh yeah.
Bill Murray's brother is in there.
Brian
They
Doyle.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Joel.
Joel, yes.
Yeah.
And they occasionally bring in what's his name from Kids in the Hall, Dave
Foley.
Foley, and it's just kind of a rotating group that goes on tour. Well, not now, of course.
Yeah.
They're not doing live shows, but
I
yeah,
used to kind of
they've
like
been-
that show. Maybe I'll watch it some more.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
All right.
And coming up tomorrow on YouTube, actually, is a documentary, Coachella, 20 Years in the Desert. They've been doing Coachella for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so it'll be nice to see that thing that used to happen. They'll interviews and performances with people like Billie Eilish and Radiohead and Beck and all the usual suspects. You'll
All
see
the
there.
people who've been going to Coachella for 20 years. Like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Who's
And
17?
coming up on Wednesday on Netflix, Eliza Schlesinger has a new show. It's a sketch show, oddly enough, called the Eliza Schlesinger Sketch Show. She's doing kind of a Tracy Ullman thing where she plays all the characters.
I didn't realize she had that sort of range.
She doesn't seem
Well,
like it, does she?
We'll see.
I mean, okay.
No, I know what you mean, Gina. I know exactly what you mean.
I don't
mean,
even know.
her-
Who is she?
She's a comedian, blonde, very funny. What
But that's a
channel?
different thing. It's a whole sketch show is a totally different thing than just doing stand-up.
Very much so.
This
What
is
now?
on
Where is
Netflix.
Netflix? Okay, I'll take a look
Netflix
at that.
on Wednesday, yeah.
All right.
Also, the series finale of The Magicians, also on Wednesday on Sci-Fi. This is a show I would recommend catching up on Netflix as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're 5 seasons in. It's a really good show.
Okay.
And not, dumb comedies are kind of a comfort right now. And on Thursday, Man with a Plan, starring Matt LeBlanc, is back.
What? I don't.
Yeah,
What?
4
Okay.
seasons.
Okay.
It's Dumb Dad.
He's a
CBS.
dumb dad. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what you mean, honey.
That's easy to write.
Yeah. Yeah. It's followed by a new series called Broke, starring Natasha Leggero and Polly Parrott from NCIS.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
her.
It's about Natasha Leggero. Usually, I've yet to see anything she's in that's not, at least watchable anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is about a single mom played by Polly Parrott. You might remember her as the lab goth from NCIS.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Natasha Leggero and her Latin lover, alleged millionaire husband, are suddenly left out in the cold by their family, and they have to move in together, and wackiness ensues.
Well, that's a role that she has done before and done brilliantly.
Yes.
Natasha
Yes.
Leggero. That was kind of a character that she played, so that's perfect for her.
Yeah. You might remember her from Another Period and a whole lot of other stuff.
She's very funny.
And
Broke.
the funniest thing about this is the Latin lover husband. He's very good looking, and he's got this man assistant Luis who follows him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I want a
And,
man
there's
assistant
some-
named Luis.
Yeah, and he's with him constantly, even in this tiny house.
Gina, if you ever become a good-looking Latin man, we can
Then I
get you
think-
an
Yes.
assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
And on Friday, Future Man on Hulu is back for its 3rd and final season. A very funny sci-fi time travel comedy, starring Josh Hutcherson from The Hunger Games and Eliza Coupe from Happy Endings.
I hear it's very funny. I haven't had a chance to
It
see
is.
it.
Well, now you might.
Future man.
And Future Man.
Okay.
And also season 2 already of Harley Quinn on the DC Universe.
Everybody on
Yeah.
everybody on Geek Show who watches this is say it's the funniest damn thing in the world, and it's not for kids. Keep that in mind. Even though it's a
No.
cartoon, it is not for kids.
Very foul-mouthed.
Yes, yes.
It also stars my favorite Bane, voiced by James Adelmain.
That's what's great about this show is that it's making fun of the characters in a way that is hilarious, but at the same time not really mean. It just kind of takes all the things that we geeks make fun of them about anyway, like the Bane voice. He does the voice, I don't understand. So it's very, very funny though, apparently. And I forgot the guy's name is Tiger Shark. He's the comedian who talks like this.
Ron Funches.
Ron Funches is King Shark. Very funny show though. And Alan Tudyk as the Joker is just great. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. And that's about it for new stuff this week. You should know that a lot of streaming services have extended their trial periods from 7 days to 30 days.
Oh, nice.
Conveniently enough, including Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Showtime, CBS All Access, Shudder, Sundance, and Epix, among several others. And when it launches next week, the new series Quibi which will be launching with about, I don't even know how many new series. They're all very short form. We'll have a 90-day trial window you can check out.
Now, where do we find Quibi? Just it's a streaming service on TV?
Wherever you get your Netflix and your other streaming services, it will be available there.
On your smart TV. That's where the Reno 911 series is coming back, is on Quibi.
And they're short, right? They're
like 8 minutes.
10 or 15 minutes,
Yeah, each episode is like 8 to 10, just as short things. There's a Chris Hemsworth. There's a Chris Hemsworth series that he's doing, which is The Most Dangerous Game. That the book. They're doing a series of that.
You mean
each
The
episode.
Hunt?
The Hunt. Each episode is like 10, 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, and that's about it for new stuff this week.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill Frost.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you next week. Your services are needed now more than ever. Thank you.
I'm doing what I can.
All right. Thank you. Well, let's take a break.
By the way,
Yes?
you can find Bill Frost stuff.
Oh, yes.
BillFrost.tv. Just
Yes.
wanted to mention that.
Traffic, Gina, do we have?
Just a little bit. Crash northbound I-15 4th North in West Bountiful. The right shoulder affected there. Traffic lights not working at the intersection of 41st South, 5600 West. And roads are wet in areas, and up the canyons there is some snow. Not a lot, but a little bit, so that might affect your commute. Although you shouldn't be commuting. Stay home. Stay safe.
All right, we've got Boehner's Round 2 coming up here. The candidates you will be considering. Number 1, Thomas Massey, Mr. No. Number 2, sure you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. And number 3, come on, lady, help Dad out. There you go.
Round 2 of your Boehner voting coming up, along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo. We'll have those for you right after these, X96.
Philip likes Propel water.
It's Jesus' preferred water.
On the right hand of God. America. On the right hand of God.
Excuse us. Are you Brother Philip?
Yeah.
Hi. Can we talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, we do a radio show in Salt Lake City. And we're just talking to your disciples over there. Is that what we should call them? Your disciples?
Well, no.
Brothers?
Jesus' disciples, really.
Oh, your associates. And we were going to chat with them for a second, and they said, well, you should go talk to Brother Philip. He's
the man.
Doing the preacher. The preacher. Now, so you do this every day here in Maui?
Yeah, I try to fulfill this.
And you have signs over there that say, sign of the times. What does that mean, Brother Philip?
It's right. I have to share it.
Pardon me?
St. Matthew.
All right, now Brother Philip's going to get out a
the Bible. It's a well-worn Bible. Looks like he's had it for a while.
How long have you had that Bible, Brother Philip?
I'm not sure, really.
And it's Matthew we're looking at.
Yeah.
Are you from Maui?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm from heaven, too.
From heaven?
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
I guess we're all from heaven.
Praise the Lord. The Holy Bible, heaven.
Yeah.
And in the morning, it shall be foul weather today. For the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
High of 73.
I cannot discern the signs of the times.
Although it was a great album by Prince, I know that.
That's the reason why we look in the Bible, because of things that God has spoken is coming to pass today.
Now, Brother Philip, we have a woman here. She is the reason we came to Maui is to do it. We do a radio show together, and but she's actually come here to get married.
Right on.
She'll be married on Monday. And do you have any advice?
God wills.
Pardon?
If God wills.
If God wills.
That means I might not get married if God doesn't will
I've
it.
maintained that all along, but if God wills, you will get married on Monday. But do you have any advice for somebody getting married?
Well,
Back to the book.
I got back in the book again.
Yep.
19 now. Was it
All the
19?
answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Look at that. He knows right where to go in this book.
Yeah.
It's like he's read it before.
Not so. Right here. And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and the twain shall be one flesh.
Okay.
You're still looking for somebody to perform the ceremony, aren't you? do you do weddings, Brother Philip?
No, I have a friend who does that.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for talking with us.
I love it. Thank you so much for
Yep. And thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Brother Philip, ladies and gentlemen, spreading the word on the streets of Maui on front. Oh, thank you. It's 19 minutes after 8 right now, and it's time for round 2 of your Boehner voting. Oh, by the way, just to let everybody know, we are broadcasting live from our home studios. Katie is in the main studio in Salt Lake. They're running the show, and we're all in our guest rooms and basements and kitchens.
Dining room.
Oh, the dining room. Oh, you got that massive cup from, what college was that we went to?
College of Eastern Utah, is it? Yeah.
That cup could be used as a weapon. That's how massive that is.
I love that.
And if you go to x96.com/live, you can see us in our respective areas.
I think people are surprised because it sounds so good that they think we're in the same studio, and we're not. This is working very well, I think.
That's why I have to keep reminding people. And it'll be a learning curve this week. We'll get the regular sounds and things like that going here eventually. It's just, it'll take a bit. Bear with us. Time for round 2 of your boners, presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your votes of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boehner fight and possibly become Boehner of the day. If it wins here, it will go up against the winner of round 1's voting we did an hour ago. We'll take both of those champions and put them against each other for Boehner fight. 9:20 this morning is when you will decide Boehner of the day for reals. Right now, you're picking the champion for round 2. Choose strategically. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote, and one of you lucky random Boehner voters will receive.
How about we do a Radio from Hell tote bag someday, maybe, when you can come get it, but not now.
Okay. Here's Boehner candidate number 1, Thomas Massie, Mr. No. When Representative Thomas Massie heard that House leaders wanted to pass a $2 trillion stimulus measure to respond to the coronavirus without so much as a recorded vote, he swung into outraged action. He got into his black Tesla on Wednesday and began to drive from his home in northeastern Kentucky to the Capitol, determined to object to its quick passage and insist that lawmakers show up in person in defiance of public health advice to register their support or opposition. Quote, I came here to make sure that our republic doesn't die by unanimous consent in an empty chamber, he said on the House floor Friday. Mr. Massie, the libertarian whose contrarian streak has earned him the moniker Mr. No, ultimately failed when House leaders in both parties united to deflect his stunt, assembling enough lawmakers in the chamber for a quorum and allowing the bill to pass by voice vote. After all, President Trump then signed the bill later on that afternoon. But putting down his one-man revolt required scores of House members to scramble to return to Washington from all corners of the country, infuriated and terrified as they put their health on the line amid a rapidly spreading pandemic, to grudgingly board empty flights or drive back to the Capitol. Massie has never been one of the more beloved members of the House, But on Friday, he became, in short order, its most reviled representative, bringing together Democrats and Republicans who had spent days fighting bitterly over the economic aid bill around shared contempt for one man. Looks like a third-rate grandstander named Thomas Massie, a congressman from, unfortunately, a great state, Kentucky, wants to vote against the new Save Our Workers bill in Congress, President Trump wrote in one of his 2 Twitter rebukes. And former Secretary of State John Kerry said, he took to Twitter to say, Mr. Massey has tested positive for being an a-hole.
I thought that was a joke when I saw it.
No,
that was...
No, he did that.
John Kerry's Twitter.
And you got to go a long ways to be more hated than Ted Cruz there.
Yeah. Or Rand Paul is another one, also from Kentucky.
Yeah.
He said, by the way, John Kerry went on to say, Mr. Massey should be quarantined to prevent the spread of his massive stupidity. Boehner candidate number 1, Thomas Massey, Mr. No. And I mean, part of the point of that is making those people come back to vote was endangering their health.
Yes.
Here's Boehner candidate number 2. Well, sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. Philadelphia Hospital will stay closed after the owner of the hospital requests nearly $1 million a month in rent. It's a hospital room with nearly 500 beds. It's been closed for months in the center of Pennsylvania, a city bracing for the spread of the coronavirus and a crush of sick patients. The facility will remain empty, officials said, because they can't accept the owner's new offer: buy the hospital or lease it for almost $1 million a month, including utilities and other costs. We don't have the need to own it nor the resources to buy it. So we're done and we're moving on, said Mayor Jim Kenney on Thursday. The next day, he said that Temple University would let the city use a music and sports venue for free. The city would no longer pursue the closed facility, Hahnemann University Hospital. The abrupt end of the dispute underscored the frantic search for more hospital beds. This is a privately owned hospital. It's been closed for, I think, a year. The owner of the hospital, Joel Friedman, said...
Let him use the hospital.
Yeah, said he had offered to sell
hospital. Let it...
He said, well, I offered to sell it to them for well below market price, or lease it to them for $60 a bed a day, far less than 2 other hospitals in California agreed to charge to lease their facilities. Boehner candidate number 2. Yeah, sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month.
How much are you making on it, sir, with it sitting there empty? How much?
Well, something will come along. Something will come along,
Any opportunity to be a dick.
Yeah.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, Boehner candidate number 3. Come on, lady, help Dad out.
All right, it's Boehner candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo. And I'm borrowing news intros from European TV stations to introduce the news here. So here we go.
Well, it's brought to you by... No matter how it happened, Caliber Collision makes it like it never did. They're the nation's largest collision repair company, rated among the highest in customer satisfaction, restoring the rhythm of your life.
All right, here we go. BBC News.
This is very important. As Gina mentioned earlier, Cardi B took to Twitter in defense of Joe Exotic. And he's, of course, the controversial star of the current Netflix phenomenon docuseries Tiger King. He's currently, I mean, this is a spoiler, but I mean, it doesn't really take away, I think, your enjoyment of this show to know this.
It's what I'm trying to use to lure Sue into watching.
He's currently serving a 22-year sentence for attempting to facilitate the murder of his nemesis, Carol Baskin, and a slew of animal cruelty charges are also leveled against him. But Cardi B doesn't believe the charismatic Joe Exotic got a fair shake, saying she would consider setting up a GoFundMe account for the former Oklahoma governor. Oh, I forgot he ran for governor, too. After calling out Baskin, Cardi retweeted a meme asserting the Big Cat Rescue founder killed her late husband and fed him to the tigers that she keeps in her Florida sanctuary, an accusation that was leveled against Baskin by Joe Exotic and several other peoples throughout the documentary. She went on to ask fans, who you think burned Joe's studio? with most replying they believe Joe did it himself. Still, that didn't stop the former reality star from empathizing, going on to tweet, "They did Joe so dirty," over and over again. "About to start a GoFundMe account for Joe. He shall be free," she wrote.
I don't know about that, Cardi.
A West Jordan family says that their daughter, Sylvia Deyanira Melendez, died from coronavirus on Saturday. The 24-year-old was battling against the virus for some time, according to the family. She's survived by her mother, Sylvia, her father, Marcos, and her two brothers, Marcos and Xander. The family broke the news Sunday through a GoFundMe page. The donation page was set up to help cover funeral costs. According to the family, she was compromised in that she had had open heart surgery, and also...
It's odd, though, they're not counting her in the official count for some reason.
I thought they were. 719 Utahns are now documented to have coronavirus, up from 602 on Saturday. I think they are, because I think it's her and Garf, Robert Garf, and then I don't know who the other two are.
There's a St. George woman and a Davis County.
Yeah, that guy in
man.
Davis County. So they're counting her.
Okay.
The Melendez family, apparently, they've all been suffering from it. It's been contained in their house, and but several other members of the family have had coronavirus symptoms and have stayed home, and all of them seem to be recovering from the virus. Congressman Ben McAdams, who had to be hospitalized on Saturday, where he was receiving treatment for COVID-19, he has been released from the hospital. He said, "I feel relatively better after getting treatment for the past week. I'm grateful for the excellent care I received from hospital staff. I look forward to continuing my recovery at home as I remain quarantined, including from my family, and gradually getting back to my normal routine as my health improves." Adams also took to Twitter to announce his hospital release and warned the public to take this epidemic seriously. Salt Lake City Mayor, I forgot to ask her about this, Erin Mendenhall, issued an emergency proclamation and repealed her last force of law proclamation on Sunday, as you heard her say on our show just a few minutes ago. She said that there was no need for the Salt Lake City proclamation because Jenny Wilson had done something similar county-wide, and it was actually the county-wide one is a little stronger, apparently. The Salt Lake County Stay Safe, Stay Home ordinance. But one thing that Mayor Mendenhall did say was that her proclamation reduces parking enforcement and tickets. Now, in addition to allowing no time limitations on street parking to otherwise legally parked vehicles, city residents will be able to park at meters for free and without time limitations. Now, she's still saying if you don't have to go downtown where the meters are, don't go there. But she realizes that there are people who have to go there. Here it is. It's not specific, but it says here in this ABC4 story, the mayor said any citation issued on a car parked in a metered spot between March 23rd and March 29th will be dismissed. So I'm pretty sure that, she heard our story that John Saltis got a couple of parking tickets and
I'm
downtown.
sure that's what it was.
I'm sure.
Listen, we'll be happy to take credit for that.
Yeah, I meant to ask her about that. Let's see, and then there is some good news here. It's kind of, now actually this is bad news. I don't want to do it, but I will. The Transjordan.
I got excited for a second.
Well, it's that the Transjordan landfill they're closing except to all essential haulers on today.
Essential haulers?
Yeah, essential haulers, the Transjordan landfill. So you might wonder what can include an essential hauler. City-operated refuse trucks, garbage trucks, which I just heard my garbage trucks go by and they pick up my stuff, and commercial haulers with existing accounts that haul waste in a front loader, side loader, or roll-off container truck. So there you go. Rich Europeans fleeing the virus for their second homes.
Where are they going?
Well, there's a story about this little peaceful island off of France's Atlantic coast, and some of the locals watched with growing dread and rage as rumors circulated about an imminent nationwide lockdown. Parisians jumped into trains and... There's your dog.
Sorry. I knew
That's
it would
okay.
happen.
Jumped onto trains and went to this little island, and the residents of the island are now furious. But it's a place where a lot of wealthy Europeans and Parisians have second homes, and so I was
they could
wondering.
be bringing the virus to a little island that didn't.
Yeah,
have
and
it.
then Summit County also has this problem. There are all throughout the Park City, Deer Valley area very expensive homes that really wealthy people have as second homes, and I'm thinking that they're probably, a lot of them have fled to those homes.
Well, now under the Summit County order, it specifically addresses that and says if you are not a primary resident of Summit County, you shouldn't be here. That includes people that own second homes up there. It's part of the... Now, whether people are following it or not...
You shouldn't be here, but I'm doubting they're going to go around and, find Michael Eisenberg.
Papers, please? Papers, please?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that if they want to come here to weather it out, that's what they'll do. I don't think they're going to... Summit County...
But is anyone going to come to a county that's one of the highest rates? I mean, that doesn't make sense. Why would you come to... Summit County has a bad outbreak. Why would you come there on purpose?
Well, their bad outbreak is peanuts compared to
Los Angeles
or Brooklyn or so that's why. And people don't think logically about those things either, Gina. I got to get out of here. I got to go to the fresh air of the mountains in Park City where my second home is.
The country. The country will save us.
David Geffen. I was going to make this a Boehner candidate tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you were going to, yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow. But it's the same thing. David Geffen tweets out, there's a picture of a beautiful yacht out in the middle of...
Gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and it's out in the middle of the water somewhere, beautiful sunset, and he's tweeting saying, we're weathering the storm out here on the ocean, we're weathering the coronavirus, hope everybody's staying safe. And people are just going, what? What do you...
Kind of tone deaf.
What? And he had to turn off his Twitter account.
His Instagram, he made it private.
Yeah, Instagram, yeah. Okay. So there's that.
All right, sports, weather, traffic.
Amy Donaldson's been sending me some sports updates, so thank you,
good.
Amy. So she was talking about the World Athletics and the championships were going to kind of bump into when they were rescheduling the Tokyo Olympics for. They've just said they're going to also move theirs so they don't overlap. And then this is what will happen with things as they're rescheduled. Everything's going to have to be moved. Olympic tragedy. It's the first Olympian known to die of COVID-19. Pearson Jordan, a sprinter at the Montreal Olympics, has died of COVID-19. So those both came to us from Amy Donaldson. Thanks, Amy, for that. Weather, it's wet. It's going to have a slight chance of showers throughout the day. Only going to be a high of 56. Warmer tomorrow in the 60s and mostly cloudy, but not a lot of rain. And it will be a day to get outside and take a walk. My kids said there's lots of memes going around going, are you tired of your parents telling you it's time to take a walk? Because that's all any of us are doing is, well, I guess we'll go for another walk, because that's what we can do. It'll be better walking weather tomorrow. The rain is affecting the roads in as much as there's a few people out, but wet down in the valley and snow. If you're one of those second homeowners up in Summit County and you're not supposed to be here and you're out driving and you're not even supposed to be doing that, you could encounter snow up there. I don't have any accidents to tell you about. Let me check our message stream because friends of the program are nice and let us know things when they see them. Let's see. Nope, nothing there. But if you see something you want to share with friends of the program, I am happy to pass it along. You just text it to us, 33986.
Here's Boehner candidate number 3. Come on, lady, help Dad out. Joe Germanotta. You know who that is?
Joe Germanata.
He has a restaurant, and he is the father of Lady Gaga.
Oh.
He owns several New York eateries. The restaurateur recently created a GoFundMe account, asking the public to donate $50,000 to cover his staff's wages at Upper West Side spot Joanne Trattoria, and was immediately met with criticism from the masses.
Well, yeah.
Restaurants across the world have been ordered to close their doors, of course. I am doing the best I can, but we had to close Joanne for the month. Our staff needs some financial help. Any help for our employees will be appreciated, Germanata wrote in a since-deleted tweet. Before being removed, the GoFundMe page read, as our doors remain closed longer than anticipated, our staff's finding it increasingly difficult to finance the daily necessities. We need $50,000. Lady Gaga is worth hundreds of millions of dollars and is part owner in her family's restaurants.
Well, the Joanna, that's her
name.
alter ego. That's
Yeah. Yet her also wealthy father has just taken to Twitter to ask for GoFundMe help?
Yeah, no.
Really weird. Come on, lady, help Dad out. Boehner candidate number 3.
All right, there you go. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1, Thomas Massey, Mr. No, trying to force a floor vote on the coronavirus bill. They could have just done it by unanimous consent with everybody agreeing to it from their home, but he forced the issue and people had to come back to Washington to form a quorum and vote on the bill. Boehner candidate number 2, sure you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. A privately owned Philadelphia hospital will stay closed after the owner requests nearly $1 million a month in rent. And Boehner candidate number 3, come on, lady, help Dad out.
Okay, here we go. It's time for round 2 of your boners. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's not boner of the day yet. It'll go up against the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. We got a winner there. We'll take both of the winners, and we'll put them against each other. Boner fight happens at 9:20 this morning. That's when you will decide boner of the day. So right now you got to pick your champion for round 2. Here we go. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that number, that single digit, in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth and give them voice votes at 877-602-9696. Or text your vote in, 1, 2, or 3. Put that number in the message of a text. Oh, x96.com. I'm sorry, I got confused there. x96.com. Go there and look for the box that says Boner Voting March 30, 2020, and vote there. So here we go. This is round 2. We'll have your winner right after these. X96.
Hello, this is William Shatner, star of Rescue 911. I have friends who are currently suffering the personal agony of hair loss. Through them, I have learned the importance of investing in a high-quality wig or toupee. That is why, if I needed a hairpiece, I would visit
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Hi, we're Carrie and Bill, the Radio from Hell guys, and we're proud to be associated with worldwide celebrity wigs and toupees. It's the only non-surgical hair replacement center that offers toupees and wigs woven entirely from celebrities' hair.
Worldwide contracts to buy the hair of Hollywood's most hirsute celebrities. Then when the stars get a haircut or die, Worldwide is on hand to harvest the hair. The hair is then woven into a versatile, lightweight, comfortable wig, personally cut, fit, and styled for you. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
I lost my hair and scalp in an unfortunate encounter with an industrial blender. It was unsightly, and my confidence was at an all-time low. But when Dinah Shore died, Worldwide made me a wig from Dinah's hair. Now I'm so full of confidence, I may just go after Burt Reynolds.
After years of working at the toxic waste dump in Tooele, I began to notice a loss of most of my head and body hair. I gave Worldwide a call. They replaced the hair on my head with a wig made from Randall Carlisle's golden locks. And as an added bonus, they threw in a half a pound of Ed Asner's body hair for free. Now I am so confident I may just go after Kimberly Perkins.
This is William Shatner again. Please don't suffer with the torment and embarrassment of hair loss. Just look in the phone book for my friends at
Carrie Ann Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Please don't delay. Beam yourself up a full head of hair today.
Do that.
What?
Gina, she came into the room before we went back on the air, came into at her house and showed the camera a little ramekin of almonds. See these almonds? They're dill pickled flavor and they're awesome. And now, what am I wanting?
Doesn't
something
that
I
sound
don't.
great?
Yeah, it's something I don't have. That's what I wanted.
Where'd you get those?
The Whole Foods.
The Whole Foods.
Here, I'll show you the package while you're awarding the boner.
Well, I don't really want to see the package. I don't know.
By the way, we're broadcasting live from our home studios. Each of us. Katie is running things in Salt Lake at the X96 studios. And if you go to x96.com/live, you can watch all of us in our various homes.
She's going to show us the package just so we want it even more than we do now.
Don't those
Thanks.
look good?
Yeah, thanks.
You didn't know such a thing existed, did you? Dill pickle almonds.
Yes, I did. Thank you. But thank you. I don't have any. All right.
All right, time to award round 2 of your boners.
Brought to you by Dill Pickled Almonds.
Yeah, right here. Look at
God. I'm coming over there.
Right
I'm coming over there. You don't live very far from me. I'm coming over there.
And?
Is that it?
And dill pickle.
Okay. All right. So we had boner candidate number 1, Thomas Massey, Mr. No, the this libertarian. Well, libertarians are just great, aren't they?
Well, yeah. As I've always said, when they start talking, they make sense for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then it kind of goes off the rails.
Thomas Massey trying to force a House vote, and a lot of members of Congress had to come back. Number 2, sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. A private hospital, privately owned hospital in Philadelphia will stay closed because the owner wants $1 million a month in rent. And boner candidate number 3, oh, come on, lady, help dad out. Lady Gaga, her father's restaurants are closed, and he set up a GoFundMe to help his employees. He's very wealthy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it said that he had pulled the tweet down, and the GoFundMe page down. He was being tone deaf, and I think maybe he realized that after a minute or two. Like,
just the fact that he even occurred to him that would be an okay thing to do.
Let's see. Hayden won a Radio from Hell tote bag that he will someday be able to pick up from us, and the winner was boner candidate number 2. Sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month.
All right. Boing. There's your winner of round 2. It now goes forward. Might be boner of the day. And we'll find out at 9:20 when Boner Fight happens. And that's when y'all will decide boner of the day. Okay. Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yeah, Scott Hale offering free estimates on whole home air purifier and germicidal UV lights to help filter and clean the air you breathe in your home. Call Scott Hale, 801-264-HALE.
All right. Do you want to try the theme, Katie? You want to try playing it? Right there next to the phone.
It's
Foxborough.
Geek News on
Press
the radio.
play, and it goes.
Got some Geek News.
There you go. Now you can turn it down now. It's, yeah. You know, if you push your microphone forward, it won't be in the way, and you won't have to try to avoid hitting your head with watching. It's the same problems I run into. I know what you're going through. A brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. We recorded it on Saturday with our special stay-at-home separate recording technique. I think it's working out pretty well, but again, there's a learning curve with that, so be kind. I do have something for you to watch while you're at home. It's only about 6 minutes long, but if you're a Rick and Morty fan, this will delight and puzzle you. If you just go to YouTube or the Adult Swim page and look for Samurai and Shogun, it is a Rick and Morty short, and it's basically a pretty straightforward samurai film starring Rick and Morty.
Okay.
I know. They do strange things.
But it's not a funny samurai film?
I mean, I haven't gotten all the way through, and it's not funny yet. It's pretty serious so far. And it's in Japanese.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's funny and you don't know it then if it's in Japanese.
You're such a fool to kidnap Shogun Morty, the soul to us, Ninja Rick. That Morty is not a Morty that you nitwits can just make off with. Hand him over, and we will let you have an easy death. You know, I mean, it's a samurai movie, you know. But it's, like I said, it's about 6 minutes long, and it's if you can imagine Rick, you know, as a samurai fighting ninjas, go ahead and enjoy. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, something for you to watch. Look for it. Disneyland and Walt Disney World are closed indefinitely amid the virus crisis. California and Florida theme parks were set to reopen on Wednesday. They're going to remain closed until further notice. The company added it has been paying its cast members since the closure of the parks, and in light of this ongoing and increasingly complex crisis, we have made the decision to extend paying hourly parks and resorts cast members through April 18th. Now, that works if you're an hourly full-time. If you're not, you've probably been furloughed, and you'll probably have to apply for unemployment. So they're doing the bare minimum. And here's something that you may have noticed since you've been quarantining and staying at home. You're not imagining this. Your video game downloads have gotten slower.
Yeah.
Last week, with the internet being strained due to surging traffic caused by everyone staying at home, Netflix and YouTube decided to lower the default resolution of their streaming videos. So the default is going to be not as good a quality. Now, you can go in your settings and change that, but maybe you shouldn't, because we all need the internet at this time. Yeah. And now Sony, Akami, and others are following suit by reducing the speed of game downloads on their networks. In a blog post earlier this week, Sony president and CEO Jim Ryan said that while video games serve an important role in keeping people connected and entertained while self-quarantining, Sony also believes that it is important to do our part to address internet stability concerns, as an unprecedented number of people are practicing social distancing and are becoming more reliant on internet access. Because I don't know if you knew this, a software update for a game that you currently have, this is just an update of the game, generates an amount of traffic roughly equal to 30,000 web pages. And that's just
an update?
That's just for an update. So you can imagine what a download, like for example, with so many people doing this, a game like Call of Duty Warzone sports a file size just shy of 100 gigabyte. It's making a massive strain on the internet. So what they're suggesting to you is, rather than downloading this during the day, download the game before you go to bed at night, and then that way, because there's less traffic overnight.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem like there should be a setting on those that say, you know, download, and when I guess there probably is.
There probably is.
Started at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
depending on your system that you have, there probably is.
Yeah, it's like I do with my sprinklers. I set them to come on. That's my only analogy for this.
So set it on that. Other things that are happening as far as the people using the internet more. Hollywood, they're pretty much shut down, but they're still preparing for when things calm down, what they can get started.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they're doing a lot of auditioning online for directors and casting directors. And so there was a big story about that in Variety. And hidden in the story, in this little paragraph, is kind of and Ed Brass is going to be very happy about this. We're going to get a spin-off to Mad Max Fury Road.
Wow.
And it was just hidden in this story. It says, development slates at the studio are in flux. Most executives don't expect things to get back to normal for several weeks, though a few are taking video and phone meetings as they try to game out films they hope to greenlight in the next 12 months. Director George Miller, for instance, has been meeting with names including Anna Taylor-Joy for his Furiosa spin-off, which he hopes to start shooting in 2021. Of course, Miller is making concessions to coronavirus, those auditions taking place via Skype. So it's just a little hidden thing.
He's quite old.
He is quite old, so we hope that he gets to this as soon as possible. Please make the sequel before you die, please. Okay, enough coronavirus stuff. Let's get to what is currently being worked on. Does anyone remember the 80s video game Dragon's Lair?
Yes.
You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a groundbreaking game, although if you look at it now, it seems kind of silly. But it was an animated cartoon. That's the thing, is that it wasn't a graphic. It wasn't a computer graphic. It was an animated cartoon, like they did in the old days, hand drawn. Don Bluth did the animation. It's in his distinct style, and it was a laser disc that was inside of the game, and it got to a point where if you would have to act, and so if you made the knight Dirk the Daring go right or left, depending on the choice.
Dirk the Daring.
Dirk the Daring. If you made him go right or left at the proper time, then the laser disc would let you advance the game, which was a cartoon. Okay, that game was impossibly hard. I don't know anybody who ever finished it, and the other thing that pissed me off about it is, if you got killed, it started you back at the beginning of the game, not where you died. It didn't give you a chance to make up for it. Also, it was one of the first ones at 2 quarters, so it was like really expensive, and then you just died immediately. You played it for 45 seconds, and their 50 cents was gone. But Ryan Reynolds was a big fan of that game, and he is in talks to tackle a live-action adaptation of Dragon's Lair.
Would he play Dirk the Daring?
He will be Dirk the Daring. He will star and produce in the Dragon's Lair live-action adaptation for the video game. Dirk the Daring must rescue the fetching Princess Daphne from the clutches of the evil dragon known as Singe and the wizard Mordrock. If you go to YouTube, you can click on and find, if you just look for Dragon's Lair, like full game or playthrough or something like that, it has the entire adventure. It's like 8 minutes long.
So you can finally finish it.
Well, you can see what it looks like. I finally did. Got a good look at Princess Daphne, and boy, inappropriate. Anyway, there we go. That's all the geek news I have for you right now. Traffic, Gina. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead, traffic.
With the geek news thing. Oh, it's
She'll
fine.
get there.
We can do it.
Like I said, learning curve.
Northbound SR 36 at milepost 61. This is in Stansbury Park in Tooele. The right lane is being affected there. Crash westbound I-80. This is up in Summit County. You ain't supposed to be driving up there anyway, people. Crash northbound I-15 4th North in Bountiful. And I thought somebody sent us something via text at 33986. Thought it was something in the road, but it's been pushed down due to voting. So if something's in the road.
Free something in the road.
Free something in some road somewhere. 33986.
All right. Yeah, see, I got Shar in the chat room says, it was that game Dragon's Lair was at the 7-Eleven by my house. Oh, great. Somebody pushed it down. Every single time I went in and I played it at least once, took me about a year to finally save the prince. It was a ridiculously hard game.
A lot of money.
I think it would have been, well, it was pretty popular. I was going to say it would have been more popular if they'd have made it just a little bit easier to play. Anyway. Okay, we will take a break. We will be back. We are broadcasting live from our home studios so that you don't catch anything from us. We'll be back in the 9 o'clock hour with Boehner fights to determine Boehner of the day after these KXRK Provo.
There, you've reached the offices of Carrie and me, Bill, the radio from hell guys. And if you have anything to say to us, we're not picking up, so wait for the beep.
All right, punch in the code.
We should change that message.
Yeah, tell it what we want to do. It'll rewind and play back our
If anybody's
messages.
called me.
All right, let's see.
Oh, there's one.
Hello, Bill. It's me, your mother.
My mom.
Now,
Hi, Mom.
you know that I don't mind you staying here at the house with me and your father,
Thanks,
but
Mom.
you've got to stop hiding the cat.
What?
Bill, if you're there, you'd better pick up. Bill?
Are you hiding?
Where did you put that damn cat? You little bastard, where did you hide my cat?
Would you give her back her cat?
Carrie, this is Bill. And because you refuse to talk with any of your family or friends about this,
don't
they've
listen to
asked
this one.
me to be their spokesman.
Well,
and because you won't talk to me about it face to face, I'll do it here on the answering
What?
machine.
I forgot
Carrie,
this.
please, don't have the surgery.
Oh, come on.
Think about it. We're not talking about something that's temporary. This is major surgery.
Don't do
Once you
it.
have this done, you can't go back to the way you were.
This is
It's forever.
nobody's business
Please,
but mine.
If you
all
won't
right?
listen to us, please talk to your therapist about it.
I already
don't
have.
have the surgery.
Would you just
Bye.
look? This is
I'm
none of you
sorry
guys.
that was on the air, but
None of you guys' business.
Hello?
hey, it's my dad.
Bill? It's me,
That's Warren.
Warren.
Yes.
I'm your father.
Father. Yeah.
Now, I know I don't talk very much, but I'd like to say that I'm really grateful that you've done something with your mother's
Cat.
I really don't care for that
Cat. He doesn't like the
It's
cat.
always trying to sleep on my face and suck my breath out.
That's true, actually.
What he's eating there. Jeez.
Hello, this is Dr. Stevenson's office calling for Carrie Jackson.
Oh.
Mr. Jackson, I called to tell you that OR has been scheduled for your surgery.
Oh, good.
The operation will be January 23rd. That's a Monday.
Hey, come on,
Report to
Carrie.
hospital check-in at 12 noon.
12 noon.
Surgery is scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Your
You're a
estimated
dope.
hospital recovery time will be about a week,
You're a
depending on
dope.
how fast you
Hey,
heal.
shut up,
If you have
all
any
right?
questions, please call us
You're
here
a
at the
dope
doctor's
to do
office.
it.
This
Thank
is
you.
nobody's business but mine.
Dope
all
to
right?
do it.
Hello, Mr. Allred. This is Bob Appleby, head of product research and development for the Loveco Cosmetics Company.
Are you selling
We'd
co-
like to thank you for the donation of the fine cat. Thanks to you and your generosity, we'll be able to test a new line of mascara that will at last be safe and non-toxic on human eyes.
gave the cat-
As a token of our appreciation, we're sending you a year's
What?
supply of Loveco lipsticks in assorted colors and flavors.
You gave
Thanks again for your support.
your mother's cat.
A year's supply of lipstick. Cool. That's great.
Harry, hi, this is Miss Miller, your psychiatrist.
Oh.
You missed your appointment yesterday, so
I
I
know.
wanted to call you and tell you I think you're making a big mistake.
Told you.
Do
Look.
not go through with the surgery.
Look.
Told
Look,
ya.
I know your hero is Captain Kirk. I know how much you admire Captain Kirk. But for the love of God, having plastic surgery to make you look like Captain Kirk is psychotic.
Told ya.
Don't have the surgery.
Told ya.
You
Call me at the office as soon as you get this. Thanks.
you people say
She's a paid professional.
that's all the messages.
I don't think we should do this again.
I think you're right.
For very
The
Right.
drummer
Yes.
for Queens of the Stone Age, Joey Castillo, is he was born in 1966.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
Just a programming note. We are broadcasting live from our home studios, the three of us.
You keep saying that, Carrie. Bill and I don't have studios.
No
You have
studio.
a studio.
I'm broadcasting from my home dining room.
If you and Gina's guest room. So if you
Mhm.
go to x96.com/live, you can see us doing that. And Katie is in the main studio at X96 in Salt Lake City. And it will be this way until further notice with all of that. So stand by.
I'm
Don't know
making a
when we'll
model
get
of the
back.
coronavirus here.
Good job.
We have a
let's
guest,
talk,
Bill.
Yeah, let's talk to Pamela Atkinson. I think we got Pamela on the phone. And
Ms.
it's,
Atkinson, are you there?
Are you there?
Hello?
Katie's working on it.
Oh,
One
Pamela?
second. She's
Hang
holding
on.
up her finger. One
Mhm.
second.
And we
Remember
She's
that phone
our-
interface
our
is
homeless,
tricky.
Our homeless advocate friend,
There we go.
Pamela
There she
Atkinson.
is. There's
Can you hear
Pamela.
us, Pamela?
Yes, I can indeed. Good morning.
And we can hear you loud and clear. Thanks for being on with us.
My pleasure.
So you are one of the most outspoken and about for our homeless population. They have not much of a voice of their own, and so in a lot of respects, you serve as the voice of the homeless population here in Salt Lake and Salt Lake County. So how is it? How are they doing?
Well, we have a great deal of collaboration. We're in touch with the providers throughout the state and trying to support one another. We have policies in place and protocols in place, and we're trying to teach all of our homeless friends about social distancing. It's very hard for them, particularly the unsheltered ones, and we've had to cancel devotionals that we had and small group meetings that we had with them. And it's been very hard on our homeless friends because they can't go and sit down in the dining room and eat hot meals. We have to serve them grab and go type lunches and dinners. But many of them have been good sports about it, and some of them are getting the counseling they need. We're continuing on trying to get people into housing and move them out of the resource centers, and then get more people from the streets into the resource centers.
I have a question, Pamela. I've seen people wondering about donations, in-kind donations. Are the homeless agencies accepting them at this time, or is just money better? What's the best way to help?
At this point, money is better. If you go to the websites of the resource centers, one is Catholic Community Services, one is The Road Home, and the other one is Volunteers of America. And it lists what's the best way to help out and to give. Some of them can't have volunteers right now until this virus clears up, unfortunately.
Pamela, am I seeing more people on the streets than before? Is that my impression? Is my impression correct?
It does seem like that, Bill. And some of the people come in from some of the camps. We seem to have had a number of people appear on the streets who have been doubling and tripling up from the past 6 months. And they may have worn out their welcome, but they just say they don't have anywhere else to go. And when the earthquake came, the rescue mission was damaged to the point that some of the people who were there are now on the streets rather than going somewhere else and waiting for it to be repaired. So I think your impression is accurate. There does seem to be more unsheltered people wandering around downtown, and then they go to the Sugar House shelter to sleep at night.
Are there enough beds for everyone?
At this point, yes. We had a slight decrease in number, but the resource centers are running about 97 to 100% full. and it's getting quite full in Sugar House. But as the weather warms up, more people will stay outside, we believe.
I know you go out and about all the time, dealing with people who are homeless and seeing where you can help. Are you still doing that?
No, I was told to stay at home and social distance, and that's been very hard for me. Some of my homeless friends have called me and wished me well, and I've kept in touch with the providers, and I'm on 4 different groups. I'm on the state community-wide task force, and on a video conference with all providers in the state. So I'm still very much involved, but unfortunately it's from a distance. And if there's one thing I'm sad about in my life, it's that I can't be down there helping my homeless friends. But quite frankly, I decided, no, I had to be sensible. I didn't want to be a statistic.
Yeah, Pamela Atkinson, don't be a statistic. Take care of yourself.
And you are helping Pamela doing this with
Absolutely.
us today, and I know you're doing other interviews and things. That's how you're helping now.
Yeah,
spreading the word.
Yes, I will indeed. But I think donations of cash right now would be very helpful to the different agencies that are trying to support our homeless friends through this time. We have a building for any of our homeless friends who do test positive. Salt Lake County and have come up with a building. So we're taking all the necessary precautions to protect our homeless friends.
I know there have been people who are saying that if the virus gets loose in the homeless population, it could just be absolutely devastating. So it's good to hear that that's being taken into consideration. Has there been any evidence of an uptick in infections in the community?
A number of our homeless friends have tested negative, and there's some flu going around, and that's been tough for people, and they have the colds and what have you. But so many of the homeless population have underlying diseases, diabetes and heart problems, and the chronic illnesses, respiratory, etc. So we're trying to keep them dry. We handed out hundreds of ponchos, courtesy of the LDS Church, and that's helped to keep hundreds of our homeless friends dry when they are outside.
I think I've seen some of those around town, yeah. Pamela, so you talk about making a cash donation to the various agencies. Is there a central place people can go or to make a donation?
They can certainly go to Shelter the Homeless, or they can contribute on their tax forms to the Pamela Atkinson Homeless Trust Fund, and that money gets distributed to all of the agencies around the state. 20% of that fund goes to places off the Wasatch Front. So it's under donations on people's state income tax form, and people can contribute anything from $2 upward and put as many zeros as they want on their form.
Pamela Atkinson, advocate, homeless advocate, and a wonderful person. Take care of your health and stay safe.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pamela.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you. All right. We will take a break now, and we will be back with a reasonable amount of news and boner fights, all on the way, broadcasting live from our home studios. Gina,
Home studios.
Gina, Volkswagen, Southtown.
Yeah, Festus and I took a social distancing drive yesterday, and we did it with the Tiguan that we have from Volkswagen Southtown, and it's a great car, and maybe you've thought, oh, maybe now's not a good time to buy. No, it's a great time to buy, and Volkswagen Southtown is making it really, really easy. Virtual car buying. So how does that work? We'll go to vwsouthtown.com. That's where you start, and you get hooked up with Sion or Stan or any of the great salespeople they have at Volkswagen Southtown. They'll do a virtual tour around a car, any car you want, not just the Tiguan. Maybe you're interested in the Jetta or the Atlas, one of the other ones. And then they'll bring the car to your house if you want. You can take a test drive. They wipe it all down. They make sure it's all clean, and you can take it for a test drive, and they can demonstrate it for you. And then you can do all the paperwork online if you want to buy the car. They make it super easy. All the information you need is easily found at vwsouthtown.com. How do you feel about hot water bottles?
No, I don't have a lot of experience with those. Although it's it seems to my grandmother always had one hanging on the back of the bathroom door with a hose on it.
That wasn't a hot water.
Oh, it wasn't?
It wasn't?
Well, what was it?
Oh.
It was
Really?
red rubber.
Yeah, that wasn't a hot
with
water.
a hose
Really?
on it.
No.
Wait a minute, she just left that out?
What was that for?
You really don't know?
I just want you to tell me. I might know, but
It's something that's not recommended anymore that women do.
Oh.
Don't-
Well, I think
that's what that was.
I think
that
it was
not a hot water
I
bottle.
think it was also used for enemas. They used them for enemas, I think, as well.
Sure.
But it was the same thing, right? It was the hot water. You could take the hose off.
I don't think you should
I think
use
it, was the
it
same,
for all of those things.
Well, I think it was the same deal. You could take the hose off, and there was a stopper. I think.
This really disturbs me because I thought it was just a hot water bottle. It was like at my aunt's house.
Nope.
And I saw that. She just left that out?
Yeah, they always used to be hanging on the back, right?
I mean, she knew that we were coming to visit.
So they can dry them out. You
Yeah.
got to hang them
What are you
up.
just leaving that out for?
They were always on a hook on the back of the
People
bathroom
are coming
door.
to visit you.
It was the custom
of
the time. Back in the day, that's what they did.
Don't do.
But I think they also used them as hot water
I hope
bottles.
not.
I'm going to look it up. I'll look it up.
If your grandma ever handed you a hot water bottle, I hope it was something
Hey,
different.
even if it was an enema bag, all right? Why did she leave that out? She knew that we were coming to visit. You put stuff away when you know people are coming to visit.
Put that in the enema bag drawer.
I mean, I know we're family, but
and they used it
come
for
on.
flushing other things out as well.
Yes.
They used it for douching.
Why would my aunt just leave that out?
Harry, don't douche.
She's a horrible person.
No, everybody did.
I remember my grandma having it hanging on. Grandma Fern had it on the back of her.
Douche.
I mean, I didn't like her anyway, but now I really don't like her.
But see, it didn't do you any damage because you didn't know.
It's doing it now.
The memory.
It's making me think about.
Are you scarred now?
No, her thought process. Family's coming to visit. I'm just going to leave this out. I don't care.
Well, maybe somebody in the family needs an enema or a douche or a hot water bottle. It's handy.
$9:21 right now. And we are broadcasting live from our home studios. Till further notice, we do have Boehner fight coming up here in about 6 minutes.
What
so
are you
before
playing with, Bill?
Yeah.
I'm making a model, coronavirus model. I'm trying to figure it out.
You can see what
I'm
Bill's
not a scientist.
If you
I'm
go
not
to
a scientist.
x96.com/live, Katie and the engineers have managed to figure out how to live stream our various cameras.
Is that it? No.
No.
Sure.
No.
Just
Oh,
tell him
God.
yes. Just tell him yes. We
I'll
got
work
so we got about 6 minutes worth of a reasonable amount of news before Boehner fight. Brought to you by
LHM Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Sandy save thousands with the largest inventory of Chrysler, Jeeps, Dodge, Ram trucks. Shop your deals online at lhmdeals.com.
news. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
I used to when I'm out of the studio to do it. Let me see what I got here. I'm borrowing news intros from European TV stations. I'm sure they won't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. ITV News, United Kingdom.
The family of John Prine says the singer-songwriter is critically ill and has been placed on a ventilator while being treated for COVID-19 symptoms. Doesn't say he has it, it said COVID-19 type symptoms. A message posted on his Twitter page Sunday said, the Angel from Montgomery singer has been hospitalized since Thursday. His condition worsened on Saturday. It is hard news for us to share, his family said, but so many of you have loved and supported John over the years. We wanted to let you know about his condition.
I like Let's Talk Dirty in Hawaiian.
I don't really know any of his
that's my
songs very well.
favorite.
Hang on, I'll dig some up here.
He's 73, one of the most, I mean, I know his name, but I just, never really, he's been one of the most influential people in folk and country music, most recently diagnosed with lung cancer in 2013. The surgery has affected his voice, but Prine continued to make music and to tour, even though his voice was gone.
This is Angel from Montgomery.
Named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. If dreams were lightning.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't know his music. It's not the sort of music I listen to much.
It's folksy Americana.
Yeah. Taco Bell.
Yes.
Plans to feed America this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, tomorrow. The CEO, Mark King, announced in a letter to fans of Taco Bell, and there are many, that Taco Bell drive-through guests across America will receive a free seasoned beef nacho cheese Doritos Locos Taco.
Ooh.
No purchase necessary. From the comfort of their own cars at participating locations and while supplies last. I don't know if Salt Lake is one of those participating locations, but there might be. So this is good to know, everybody. The best women's pajamas and slippers to wear while working from home.
Wait. I've got. Let me take
Right.
notes.
Take a note.
I've got my notepad.
Here, you
I
have
have
a pen?
my.
Here.
I have
Probably
my Kiss
H&M
notepad
has
here.
the Senso, or has the H&M has the really comfortable PJs. Or if you're tired of PJs, you can get a onesie at Morgan Lane and
Katie
get
wants a
some
onesie.
and get some happy socks from Buy Now. Oh, socks from Happy Socks. And Emu Australia has Mayberry slippers. They're supposed to be the best. Mayberry slippers.
Okay,
So they're the kind Aunt B would wear, I guess. The Mayberry slippers.
I like
All right.
my slippers. This is my slippers here. Yeah.
Andy! Those are
you
hush
wearing
puppies,
them?
aren't they?
No, these are Mini Tonka.
Oh. Yeah, another made-up Native American name.
Yeah.
That's not a real name.
I think it might be Mini Tonka. Let me look. It's
I'm gonna look now.
I'm wearing flip-flops, so I don't...
Aren't your feet cold?
No.
They're not. Flip flops. It's raining
Yes,
outside.
wait a minute, Gina. Now that you've mentioned it, and I said no, but now that you've said they're not, you know what they are.
I can't.
Why can't you just take my word for the fact that they're not cold?
Because
See-
I have socks on and mine are cold. How are yours not?
Ordinarily, Bill sits in his dining room with the doors and windows open,
Yeah.
but I counseled him today
Yeah.
to not do that.
Right. Thanks, Carrie.
And to turn the heat on.
Thank
So-
you. Thank you. And Peeps, the company that makes Peeps, the Born, what is it, the Born Again? No. The Just Born Quality Confection Company. They make Mike and Ike's and Hot Tamales and Peeps. They've had to close down their factory, but they have assured us there will be enough Peeps for Easter. The coronavirus outbreak could kill 100 to 200,000 Americans, the U.S. government's top infectious disease expert warned yesterday. His family members described wrenching farewells through hospital windows with dying loved ones. He's saying it's not going to get better quick. It's going to be a while. And by the way, the coronavirus here in Utah, we had mentioned earlier that Bob Garf, he started Garf Motors, of course, and he was a former Speaker of the House of the Utah State Legislature. He died from coronavirus. He was not included in the total number from Sunday. Sunday, the total number was 4. So he was not included. And Jeannie, you were right. That 24-year-old woman from West Jordan was not included in those numbers either. So technically that would mean there have been 6.
Yeah, I think this afternoon they'll do another count.
Yeah, they're going to do the health department this afternoon will have another update. The latest update was 719 Utahns documented to have coronavirus. More Utahns have been tested for the virus. The department reports nearly 14,000 Utahns have been tested. So there is that. The mayor of Riverton says state and local leaders ought to shift their focus from stay-at-home orders to ramping up testing for COVID-19.
No, you could do both.
Yeah, why can't we do both?
Why is it either or?
I don't know.
Because he's a Republican, obviously. It's
they
only
would both
either or
be-
with Republicans.
Trent
Both
Staggs
helpful.
says he's a scientist, I'm sure. He says there are many other approaches to stopping the spread of coronavirus.
Like what? Fire?
I don't know.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Throw acid on it.
Let's get to Boehner fights then, shall we?
All right, here we go. We have the winner from round 1 going up against the winner from round 2. Round 1's winner was We're Champions for Christ. It's the Liberty University, run by Jerry Falwell Jr., who ignored essentially the information presented to him, even by the head of campus medicine, who said bringing students back we could see a bad uptick in the number of coronavirus cases. Now, that physician didn't advise him to not bring the students back. He said to Falwell Jr., it wasn't my place to do that, to tell him not to. Well, Jerry Falwell Jr. did it. He brought back his students, the Champions of Christ, to Liberty University, and it's a pretty big school. And sure enough, an outbreak of coronavirus on campus, and several students were infected. That was number 1, going up against number 2. Sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. A private hospital, which is closed right now in Philadelphia, the city said, I think we're going to need hospital space, and they looked into getting this hospital reopened, but the private owner of the hospital said, well, I'll sell it to you cheap, or I'll charge you $1 million a month rent. How's that? The city has said no.
Okay,
That's
there you
number
go.
2.
You've got to decide of these 2 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boehner of the day, 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that number, that single digit is all we need in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth and just use your voice to vote and just tell them 877-602-9696. Or you can go online to x96.com, look for the box that says Boehner Fights, Monday, March 30, 2020, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. You have until the end of these messages, so let's do it. It's Boner of the Day, X96.
There, you've reached the offices of Carrie and me, Bill, the radio from hell guys. And if you have anything to say to us, we're not picking up, so wait for the beep.
All right, punch in the code.
We should change that message.
Yeah, tell it what we want to do. It'll rewind and play back our
If anybody's
messages.
called me.
All right, let's see.
Oh, there's one.
Hello, Bill. It's me, your mother.
My mom.
Now,
Hi, Mom.
you know that I don't mind you staying here at the house with me and your father,
Thanks,
but
Mom.
you've got to stop hiding the cat.
What?
Bill, if you're there, you'd better pick up. Bill?
Are you hiding?
Where did you put that damn cat? You little bastard, where did you hide my cat?
Would you give her back her cat?
Carrie, this is Bill. And because you refuse to talk with any of your family or friends about this,
don't
they've
listen to
asked
this one.
me to be their spokesman.
Well,
and because you won't talk to me about it face to face, I'll do it here on the answering
What?
machine.
I forgot
Carrie,
this.
please, don't have the surgery.
Oh, come on.
Think about it. We're not talking about something that's temporary. This is major surgery.
Don't do
Once you
it.
have this done, you can't go back to the way you were.
This is
It's
nobody's
forever.
business
Please,
but mine.
If you
all
won't
right?
listen to us, please talk to your therapist about it.
I already
do
have.
Don't have the surgery.
Would you just
Bye.
look? This is
I'm
none of you
sorry
guys.
that was on the air, but
None of you guys' business.
Hello?
hey, it's my dad.
Bill? It's me,
That's Warren.
Warren.
Yes.
I'm your father.
Father. Yeah.
Now, I know I don't talk very much, but I'd like to say that I'm really grateful that you've done something with your mother's
Cat.
I really don't care for that
Cat. He doesn't like the
It's
cat.
always trying to sleep on my face and suck my breath out.
That's true, actually.
I wonder what he's eating there. Jeez.
Hello, this is Dr. Stevenson's office calling for Carrie Jackson.
Oh.
Mr. Jackson, I called to tell you that OR has been scheduled for your surgery.
Oh, good.
The operation will be January 23rd. That's a Monday.
Hey,
come on,
Report to
Carrie.
hospital check-in at 12 noon.
12 noon.
Surgery is scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Your
What a
estimated
dope.
hospital recovery time will be about a week,
You're a
depending on
dope.
how fast you
Hey,
heal.
shut up,
If you
all
have any
right?
questions, please call us
You're
here
a
at the
dope
doctor's
to do
office.
it.
This is
Thank you.
nobody's business but mine.
You're a dope
all
to
right?
do it.
Hello, Mr. Allred. This is Bob Appleby, head of product research and development for the Loveco Cosmetics Company.
Are you selling
We'd like to thank you for the donation of the fine cat. Thanks to you and your generosity, we'll be able to test a new line of mascara that will at last be safe and non-toxic on human eyes.
You gave the cat?
As a token of our appreciation, we're sending you a year's
What?
supply of Loveco lipsticks in assorted colors and flavors.
You gave
Thanks again for your support.
your mother's
A
cat?
year supply of lipstick. Cool. That's great.
Carrie, hi, this is Miss Miller, your psychiatrist.
Oh.
You missed your appointment yesterday, so
I
I
know.
wanted to call you and tell you I think you're making a big mistake.
Told you.
Do
Look.
not go through with the surgery.
Look.
Told
Look,
ya.
I know your hero is Captain Kirk. I know how much you admire Captain Kirk. But for the love of God, having plastic surgery to make you look like Captain Kirk is psychotic.
Told ya.
It-
Don't have the surgery.
Told ya.
You
Call me at the office as soon as you get this. Thanks.
you people stay.
She's a paid professional.
That's all the messages.
I don't think we should do this again.
I think you're right.
For very
All right, it's 9:36, 35? Yeah, 9:36. Time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by Spaghetti.
Spaghetti question mark?
Well,
And-
that was questioning you as to if you had a follow-up to that.
I do. It's Diversion Eatery. Delicious pizza, burgers, tacos, salads now available for curbside pickup or DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats for delivery. Order online at diversioneatery.com or call 657-7326.
Boehner candidate number one was "We are champions for Christ." That's what Jerry Falwell Jr. calls the students at Liberty University, which is it's become a big school. And he brought students back amid coronavirus fears, and sure enough, there was an outbreak at the school.
So don't get your science degree from there.
Yeah. Going up against number two, sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month. A privately owned Philadelphia hospital will stay closed after the owner requested nearly $1 million a month in rent. And the winner was Boehner candidate number two. Sure, you can use the hospital for $1 million a month.
There you go. That's your Boehner of the day for March 30th, 2020. It is now qualified to be Boehner of the week. Yes, the boners continue, even though we're not in our...
Someone texted us a while ago, and I wanted to mention it. They said, my children's school is having a parade tomorrow. Should I go? And I was like, no.
Well, what kind of
who thought that was a good idea? No.
Is it in cars or?
Some kind of parade outside. And, the person was very concerned, and I texted back at them and said, I would just tell the principal that you're opting out and getting other parents to do the same. Maybe he'll get the idea that this is not a good idea.
Now, if it's a drive-by parade like my neighbor across the street, I mentioned this earlier, but they had a missionary come home, and I was all worried they were going to have a big party because there were balloons and signs in front of their house. There was a car parade. The family stood out on the sidewalk and cars drove by, and so maybe it's that.
You know what I think it is? It's that. I read in I think it was in the Salt Lake Tribune on Sunday, that teachers had a parade via cars, and they were driving through neighborhoods where they knew a lot of their kids lived. And there was a big caravan of teachers in cars waving at kids through the window and stuff like that. So maybe it's that kind of thing.
So that wouldn't be bad. And actually taking your kids for a drive just to get them out of the house, that's fine. You can do that.
So there's this one Trump thing that I haven't gotten to today, and it's Donald Trump tweeted this yesterday or the day before. I'm a great friend and admirer of the Queen of England and the United Kingdom. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now they've left Canada for the United States. However, the U.S. will not pay for their security. They must pay.
What is he talking about?
That's not even a thing.
They didn't ask for anybody to pay for security.
That's not a thing.
Well, I mean, they do have.
Yeah, they have security.
They have the bill for their security, which includes a roster of 9 highly skilled British officers shuttling between the UK and the US, is estimated to be as much as £8 million a year. It's covered by British taxpayers through the Metropolitan Police budget. They also receive support from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. There was no, and then when contacted, I don't know if it was them specifically or their spokespeople said, yes, we are moving to the LA area. We have no plans to ask the United States government to pay for our security.
But aren't you glad I took care of that? I took care of that. I did that.
And again, I'm seeing other stories. His approval ratings are solid, and
well, he's a wartime president, Bill. That's wartime presidents always get good approval ratings.
And I'm just afraid he will eat Joe Biden's lunch.
It's not. We're not even there yet. I mean, look at the polls before in the last presidential election.
Yeah.
What they were saying. You can't trust the polls. You just can't. And if you gauge your mood by the polls, I feel sorry for you.
Well, that wasn't based on any polls. That was just based on my own fears.
Bill's polling himself.
Oh, well, that's painful.
Well, somebody had to do it. I tried to get my wife to poll me, and she wouldn't. No,
Well, it's social distancing. You're not.
No, she said, no. You want to poll? You want to be polled? Poll yourself, buddy.
Let's see. We had a car. Oh, we do have. Well, we don't have much time. We'll have to talk to her just briefly.
Is she there? Jackie? Hello?
Jackie Briggs. Hang on. Telephone interface.
You want to put her in the next break?
There. Well, can you hold on, Jackie, to the next break?
Sure. Yeah,
okay,
that's fine.
because
Let's
if we talk to you now, we only have just 2 minutes. So, yeah, put her on hold.
Okay.
Yeah, put her on hold. Take the phone pot out. There you go. And we'll be back with Jackie Briggs from the Gateway coming up after these, and we'll find out what they're doing. Ranlife.com.
Well, again, I read something over the weekend that the mortgage rates here in Utah are, mortgage rates are very low everywhere. Ranlife is a local mortgage company. The housing market still appears to be pretty strong. People are still buying houses, and people are still selling them.
Or refinancing.
And also refinancing, because the rates have gone incredibly low. So it's a great time to refinance and lower your rate, skip a payment, or pay off your debt and drop your mortgage insurance. And Ranlife, their experts know all about that and can give you really good advice about how to handle this stuff. So if you call them at 801-478-4500, you can talk to an established loan officer, a very competent professional at Ranlife on the phone, and he or she can give you all the information you need. It's 801-478-4500 or their website, ranlife.com.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! We join our elders as they arrive on Vulcan. They hope to find a cure for Lehigh, who is suffering from Ponfar. Ah, Vulcan, world of logic, place of pointy-eared people. Here I will seek out my mate and find man who killed parents. Settle down and raise pointy-eared offspring.
Knock it off, Lehigh. You aren't a Vulcan. I was hoping you only had the 24-hour type of Ponfar. Dang it. Oh, here comes somebody. Excuse me, sir?
Greetings. You are new to Vulcan?
Hi, I'm Elder Spock, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
Spock? He is a legend on Vulcan. You mock us by using his name.
Oh, we mean no disrespect. Lehigh here is Spock. I mean, they mind melded and something went wrong. Elder Spock here is suffering from Ponfar.
Ponfar? This is almost illogical. We must meet with T'Pau. She will know how to proceed.
This is Spock? He does not look like Spock. Fascinating. So the great son of Vulcan has sent you as his replacement? Joining will go on as scheduled.
Joining? What joining?
My parents chose my mate when I was 7. We were telepathically linked, and now is the time for us to be wed.
Spock was joined with this woman. You haven't even gone to Snowgroves with her. You can't marry her. Talk about breaking the rules.
We are all gathered. We shall proceed. We are here to complete the joining of Spock and T'Pring. Unless there is anyone here who objects, The ceremony will commence.
Excuse me, T'Pau, ma'am, I have a problem with this.
Only Vulcans are allowed to protest. One more word out of you and I will have you removed from this holy place. Now, shall we begin?
I protest.
To Prine, no. Why?
I have chosen another to be my mate. I choose Elder Jinsen.
But I was to be the one you chose.
A challenge has been made. T'Pring has chosen her companion and is her right. Let the combat to the death begin.
Combat? To the death? Oh, come on, Lehigh Spock. You know I can take you in a fair fight. Be logical. Give up now before I have to hurt you. Hey, you cut my Mr. Max suit. Why, they ought to teach this at the MTC.
Oh. We have our victor. Elder Spook shall wed T'Pring.
Excuse me, ma'am, but I don't think I can go through with this. You see, I just killed my companion, and we're way out of our sector. My zone leader won't be happy at all. I really should be going.
And I will be free to take Ston as my husband.
Is this the end of Butch? Will Zone Leader Hansen really be upset at Lehigh for killing his companion? Will Spock show any emotion when he finds out that his fiancée has married another? Tune into our next episode to hear Butch say...
Hey, man, be careful. Do you have to drag my body all over every rock?
Butch, you're alive!
Shh, keep it down. I faked my death so I wouldn't have to kill you. I'm glad to see you're back to being your old self.
I didn't kill you. I didn't. I don't remember much of anything about the past week, though.
Look, just drag me back to my hyperbike and I'll tell you all about it.
Well, we left the quadrant. What's Zone Leader Hansen gonna say?
Well, maybe we just won't tell him.
Well, that would be the logical thing to do.
Huh?
On the next finger-crossing episode of Space Elder!
Okay, it's 9:50 right now, and we got Jackie Briggs from the Gateway on the phone. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how's it going?
Well, you know.
You tell us. How's it going at the Gateway?
Yeah, what about the Gateway, Jackie?
Yeah, we're safe at home. What do you got going?
Yeah, we've got things going on, that's for sure. Everything has definitely changed drastically for us, like everybody else. But we certainly have not only the residents that live in that area and in downtown that need access to some of the merchants and resources that we have, like the grocery store that is still open, and some of our restaurants that are doing takeout. And even just on the lighter side of kind of options to stay entertained. I mean, we have Wise Guys that is doing really cool kind of Facebook Lives for their shows. Believe it or not, Mystery Escape Room does a virtual escape room, something kind of fun for your family. And Kiln Co-working is still doing online workshops for business development. So there's things to do and there's things available to keep us connected still in this very, very weird time.
Hey, Jackie, can you talk a little more directly into your phone?
Do you have us on speaker? Because if we're on speaker, that's...
I don't have you on speaker, but I will.
There.
That's much
put my
better.
mouth closer. There. Okay. Great.
That's perfect. Okay.
Jackie, first of all, how does it work to have an escape room, a virtual escape room? Because I could just get up and walk away from my computer.
I'm in here right now, Bill. Look, I can't get out. I'm stuck in my...
It's so funny. I think there's clues, and you still have to kind of unearth them, but in a virtual world. And it's really neat because you can have like your family from all over. So if you're social distancing with maybe just you and yourself, or you and a partner, and you want to connect with your family, still you can have multiple players from different places all enter the escape room at the same time and figure out clues, which is just something fun, to interact still because isolation's hard.
Yes, it is. So, Jackie, if people want to find out what services are still available at the Gateway in Salt Lake, what's the best thing to do?
If you just go to @thegateway.com on our website, there'll be a list. There's a new update on the homepage that says Center Updates, and that is a living list of places and restaurants that are open for curbside and pickup, and we'll keep that active with information as we get them. And then, the grocery store there, the Store Fine Foods Market, is a wonderful resource because they are local, but they also sell a ton of local merchants that is so important to support right now. So that's a great place to get those groceries if you need to. And they offer, you can call it in. So if you're a part of a group that, is at higher risk, you can call in and they will pack your groceries for you and then bring them out to your vehicle. Just put them right in the trunk for you.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Great. What's the name of that grocery? I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, it's called the Store Fine Foods Market. And it's right on 100 South there, right across from where the Children's Museum is.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, so it's there are still things available, still things happening at the Gateway. Jackie Briggs, are you taking care and are you okay?
Yeah, taking care. We're okay. And we're, like I said, just trying to, the Gateway is a community resource and trying to figure out what that means at this time and what we can still do. So if people follow us on like Instagram and Facebook, last week we gave out free meals and we gave out one a day to people that nominate, friends and family that could use the support, and then they got a gift certificate for them and their friend. And this week we're giving out just some entertainment options. So just trying to stay connected.
Nice. I know some of the megaplex theaters, and I don't know if the one on the Gateway is one of them. You can still get popcorn if you want it for your home movies, and
not
have
at,
it just
not at the Gateway location, but
not at that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm glad that there's still stuff going on there, and I take care of yourself, Jackie Briggs.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you so much. You guys take care too.
Okay,
We'll see
bye-bye.
ya.
Well, I
Okay.
think for our first day doing the show from our various homes has gone very well.
Wait, are we done?
Yeah, I think it's time.
Really?
Yeah. What
Well,
are you going
we-
to do with the rest of your
we
day,
got
Bill?
a few minutes.
Well, there's the Utah word of the day. That's got to be
That doesn't
written.
write itself.
Does not write itself. Of course, we could just do it.
Carrie, what do you got going?
I'm going to do some work here. I think I got a spot I got to produce. And, yeah, so just
I've
usual.
gotten really good at picking things up with my toes.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
good
can do
skill.
that.
Like,
Good skill to have.
Like packages off my front porch.
With your toes.
Yep. Like, not the boxes.
She
but
had
like
a
the
dishwasher delivered,
envelopes.
picked it up with her toes.
Yeah,
my front foyer. So as I get packages, it looks like Christmas in there because they come and then we don't open them right away. So I've got all these boxes and I don't remember what's in them. And in a couple of days, it's going to be like Christmas, and I'm going to open I wonder what's in this one. And most of it's like bleach and stuff, but it's a surprise.
I'll be taking my Mini for a drive today, actually, because it's been sitting for so long. You gotta, run it so that it doesn't, all the gunk doesn't build up and the gas and all. At least that's what my guy Juan tells me to do. So I have to go take it for a little spin today.
I guess I have to go to the liquor store at some point.
Ooh.
Are you out?
I'm always out. Of course.
You can buy more than one bottle at a time.
I do.
All right. Do you want to attempt a promo?
Just do Carrie
Bill
Gina.
Gina. Yeah.
Okay. Radio from Hell here. Join us as we continue broadcasting live from our home studios, safe away from all of you on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
Carrie's so cute. He thinks that Gina and I have studios. We don't. We're just broadcasting from our individual house spaces. But we'll have Utah Word of the Day tomorrow.
And more fun from us at home, and you are home. Let's all be home and listen to the Radio from Hell show tomorrow on X96.
I guess that'll do.
Okay.
Everything? Is that everything? Katie, all business? We good? All right. Thumbs up from Katie.
Now we're going to stay on the teams here for a few minutes, right?
Yeah, to talk
discuss
about
some stuff. Yeah,
stuff coming up and all that. So, live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Stay care, everybody.